This morning I realized I had created a spell around my exercise routine. And this, we could also call it a belief, which of course is a self-fulfilling prophecy. And what this was that I would encounter challenges and tests when I went for exercise. And this came from when after awakening and I was going for exercise, I would be intentionally putting myself in situations that triggered me, that caused me to create stories so that I could release this old energy, shift these beliefs, find out where they're coming from. So it was very, very helpful for a time. And then I realized, oh my gosh, that I created this belief that when I exercised that I'd encounter challenges. And so what that kind of had looked like in my body is that when I went to exercise, I was kind of like waiting for the next bad thing to happen. Bad thing, because all challenges help us to grow. But waiting for the next, we could say, difficult thing for me. And I realized this put me in a state of smallness from the get-go. And because I went into my exercise feeling small, then I attracted others with that small energy as well. I I was amazed at this realization, and it's so interesting how these subtle thoughts we can think regularly turn into these beliefs that literally shape our reality. So thankfully, this came to my awareness, and I realized no, exercise is peaceful, exercise is fun. Exercise, when I exercise, I'm at ease. Because another thing I realized I was thinking was that, oh, this is hard. Uh, I'm gonna have challenges. It's gonna be hard. And so I associated other human beings with being challenging and difficult. And so today I reassociated my exercise with being easy, fun, peaceful, and to see other humans as my higher self does. So to see them as their higher self, which is always kind and respectful. Every human at their core is their true self, and their true self is unconditional love. And anything apart from that is just pretend. It's make believe. It's all these patterns, programs layered up on top, and for the experience. Nothing wrong with that. It's the experience that they as a soul wanted to have. Yet realizing that going in small, I was attracting small. And then sometimes when I went in big, I realized that when someone else, I could feel the small energy, rather than staying big, I became small. And then it was even more of an attraction. And so I realized that when we are small, of course, we attract small. When we're big, we attract big. And we can think of small as being out of alignment or in resistance, in fear. And we can think of being big as being in alignment, in love. And these are, of course, all the emotions and feelings of love. And on the other side, all the emotions and feelings of fear. So when we go in big, we attract big. Yet here was the kicker that I just mentioned, that if someone else is small, rather than going down small to meet them, is to stay big. So when I realized that this next reassociation was that if I notice someone is being small, rather than going down to that level, and of course that's not their true self, that is just their human character having an experience, and it's perfect as it is. But and I'm not better than anyone else when I say I don't want to go down to their level. I just don't want to be operating at that lower frequency. So when I made this new reassociation that if I sense someone is small, to stay big, and it's like a reminder to stay big and even get bigger. So allow more of that love in through my heart center and allow compassion. And so compassion is really seeing another through the eyes of your higher self, which is with unconditional love, which is with a deeper understanding of what they're going through, being able to feel how they feel, being able to sense what they're working through, and to be able to love them and accept them, approve of them, appreciate them, support them just as they are. And of course, support looks different in different scenarios. We may not be guided to engage with someone, and we support them in another way simply by looking at them through the eyes of love or seeing them as source energy at their core. That in itself is major support. Support doesn't have to look like doing something in the physical. So this was my realization today, and I had that realization about attracting yesterday, and it kind of all tied together. I'm just gonna make sure of my notes that I've got everything. And so the other thing I realized was that when we think of things in terms of big or small, it makes it really easy, at least for me, because before I was thinking of things as out of alignment or in alignment. And these are kind of, it's very easy to understand. What is out of alignment is fear. What is in alignment is love. So when we're in alignment, we are acting as our true self. And when we're out of alignment, we are not acting as our true self. So that was very easy for me to understand intellectually. But putting this new layer of big and small on it, like for me, I really feel energies, and so it's really easy to feel when I'm getting smaller, when I'm tensing up and constricting. It's really easy to feel when my energy is getting bigger, more expansive, more love. And so the more love we have, the bigger our energy. So I thought, wow, this is so great, because our bodies are always sharing with us information. They're always assisting us, and it just was like this extra perspective that made the whole thing make more sense and be easy to feel as you move through day-to-day life. And we can ask ourselves the question, like, am I feeling big right now? Am I feeling small? And the other thing about it was that when we feel small, things are hard. They are difficult. Yet when we're feeling big, things are easy, because we are in alignment. We are in the frequency of love, which is the frequency of ease. And so it's coming back to these very, very simple truths, but when we apply them to our daily life, we notice what an immense shift happens. Like today during exercise, I've never been so peaceful. I've never been at such harmony with everyone around, every other single human. It was just amazing. And so I just wanted to share this example with you today. And again, I'm just going to make sure I got everything that I wanted to share today. Oh yeah, the other thing was that when we go into an area with other people, and I was talking yesterday about confidence, we can remember that we have our spirit team with us. So whether you have connected with your spirit guides or a spirit guide or not, you have so many non-physical beings that are there to assist you, that are walking this journey with you. And that's such a beautiful thing. And for me, it's made a huge difference in my life when I reconnected with my spirit guide that I knew as a very young child, and then I met another spirit guide. So I personally have two main spirit guides, but many, many, many other beings of light and non-physical beings that assist me. And so really, like, getting to know your guides make a huge difference, members of your light team. And so when you go into a situation, you don't feel alone. Even if you're maybe physically just you, we are all energy, and spirit, non-physical beings are just as real as you and me. The only difference is that we're wearing this physical suit, we could call it, this body. But when we're done our body, we will leave it and move on. And so all of our other spirit friends who are not in a body right now, they are with us, especially when we ask them to be. And when you cultivate this, you can really feel their presence. For me, I'm always communicating with them, or as often as I can. And this is just a reminder to do it even more, because I always receive great insights. I always feel good, and when we feel good, that's that big energy, and then we're attracting other people who are feeling good. And so in this way, we create a reality that is much, much more to our liking. So check in with yourself if you are creating any spells or beliefs around doing different things, and what the outcome's going to be, or if you have in your mind a certain thing that you do that is the most challenging, or that you always encounter challenges, and that may have been great for some time, but at any time you can shift that, because we can really grow in joy. We can go through challenges joyfully. It doesn't have to be hard and difficult and tough. So this again is coming back to ease, coming back to love, and moving through the world in this way. So I will leave it with that, sending you much love on your journey today. Thank you so much for checking this out, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.